People fucking hate it when I say this, but here's how you actually get rich quick. Because the people who have the big success stories where they scaled from 0 to 1 million in 12 months or whatever it is, they like to think that they're special. They like to think that they're a special snowflake, that unique and is super skilled and better than everyone else. But here's the fact. It's not about them. One of the biggest things that allowed them to be successful was timing and the opportunity that was presented to them. So let's just use some examples. If you started a dropshipping business in 2016, you honestly didn't need to be that smart. You didn't need to be that clever. You didn't need to be that good at copywriting or marketing or even product selection, really. You just needed to do the thing. And if you did the thing, you would probably make a lot of money. If we look at more specific examples, let's just say, for example, Alex Hormozi, obviously big name in the marketing space. Look, he's a smart guy, hard worker, sure, got a lot of things like he's done well. But I'm sure he would admit this as well. Like, one of the biggest reasons why Gym Launch took off and he was able to make like 100 million in, however many years was because he got in at a time where Facebook ads were insanely cheap to sell info and coaching services. There's no way he makes all of that money if he didn't start that company at the same time that people discovered that, Facebook ads were a really cheap way to acquire customers. And just look what happened after iOS 14. That's right, iOS 14, where Facebook ads become harder, he sells the company, right? Because it was obviously harder for him to get customers. Same with Sam Ovens, for example, started teaching coaches how to coach coaches and all that stuff. Again, built his business on Facebook ads. Great opportunity at that time. Pretty easy. He was lucky that he started at that time because then, again, look at what happened afterwards. I know he started school and stuff, but, he was winding down consulting.com because as soon as Facebook ads become unprofitable, he didn't have a way to get the customers. So don't underestimate the influence timing and what some people would call luck has on their success. And it was the timing and the opportunity that was hot at the time that was a huge influence to them being successful, right? But here's the thing, and here's the actual key to being like those guys and getting rich quick. It's that you have to have the skills and the mindset to be able to take advantage of the opportunity. Because there are for sure people who got presented with the same opportunity as Hormozi and Ovens who didn't become successful. Even myself, right? I started my first online business at around 2016. It was selling info products with Facebook ads, and I didn't make millions of dollars. And I can't sit here and blame it on, I just didn't get given the right opportunity. No, I did have the right opportunity. I could have made millions, but I didn't. Why? Well, for me in particular, I didn't have the skills of copywriting, even though media buying, okay, you didn't really need it that much. It was pretty easy. But I think the main thing for me was I just didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the awareness. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the mindset to go out and seize the opportunity. For me, and it's annoying when I look back because, it was so much easier to make money back then versus now. But for whatever reason, I just wasn't the right person. I wasn't good enough at the time to take advantage of the opportunity. But the sweet spot is where preparation and experience meets opportunity. And if you're able to do that, then you will become one of these get rich quick success stories. But what most people do is they get disheartened by maybe not achieving the success that they desire straight away, is they start switching from opportunity to opportunity. They might start a dropshipping business, then they'll go and start an agency. and then they'll go and start like a short form content agency, and then they'll go do something else and do something else and do something else and do something else, and they'll start fucking investing into crypto, trying to get rich quick, whatever it is. And they hop around all these opportunities and they feel like, oh, I'm just not getting lucky. Because look at all these other guys who had success in those areas. But by the time I got into starting an agency, it was saturated. Or before I got into drop shipping, it was super cheap to, drop ship stuff from China. And they're constantly blaming the opportunity or them not getting lucky. But the problem is they didn't develop a skill, or they didn't dedicate themselves to something long enough to develop the skill or the mindset that would allow them to be successful. So, for example, I've put here, I'm not saying as well, like you have to put in, years of work before you see success. I took a lot longer than I should have to hit certain income milestones, a lot longer than I should have. And part of it was because I kept jumping from fucking everything to everything. I tried to sell courses, did affiliate stuff, started an agency, looked into drop shipping, set up like an online store. I did a lot of bullshit because I was that person who was switching from opportunity to opportunity. But it doesn't mean you have to work for like 5 years to achieve, whatever it is, 100K a month, 10K a month, whatever your income goal is. But you do have to stick at something for at least a short period of time to develop a skill where then you can take advantage of the opportunity. But it's not always linear, and that's the issue. So, for example, what you could do is you could start like a Facebook ads, or you could start a dropshipping store, for example, right? And you could start trying to run ads to that store and make money. And you could try that for 6 or 12 months. Now, over that 6 or 12 months, you could learn the skill of advertising, but let's just say, you didn't have the risk appetite to invest in the ads, or maybe you couldn't, you didn't come up with a good product idea, or maybe you struggled with the logistics or the operations of the business, or whatever it was, which meant you spent 6 or 12 months and you made no money, and in fact, you lost money. But at least over that time, you've developed the skill of running ads. And then what could happen is during the end of that 12-month period, you could come across a friend, or you could get connected with someone, and maybe they have like this amazing like coaching idea, or maybe they have like this brand new business opportunity that they've been making money with, that could like blow up as a biz op for an info product. And there lies the preparation meeting the opportunity, because now you have the skill of running ads, which means you can help that person generate clients, generate sales. If that client doesn't have a clue about how to sell products or how to run ads, then you could just partner up with them and start a business together, and you handle the marketing, they handle the idea and the fulfillment, and then you could go and scale that. That's what I've done with one of my businesses. You'll see some of the other videos on this channel is I've partnered with a creator, an online coach, an influencer, whatever you want to call them. They had built an audience. They had this skill or knowledge that could help people in a particular area. I had the skill of marketing and advertising, even though I hadn't, earned millions by myself with my own agency. And what happened is there was years of, serving clients, building up that skill for myself. I was able to partner with that person 50-50, and we've been running that company for like 12 months now, right? And it's one of the main things I'm focusing on and one of my main income streams. But again, I don't get that. And like people look at that company and be like, oh, you've done like multi-6 figures in the first year, like the first 12 months. Oh my God, like that's amazing. Like this person's come out of nowhere. But I've spent years before that learning the skill, and then applied it to a better opportunity than what I was currently at, and the income goes up. It's also as well, like, for example, one example is there's a guy called Brian Page. He did the B&B formula. He was like, I believe he was the first person to sell like Airbnb coaching. And this guy made millions and millions of dollars, right? And I can't remember, I'm going to try and get this from memory. Because I remember years ago, I was listening to a podcast from the guy who helped him market and sell that course. Because similar to what I just said, like Brian Page, he had obviously built an Airbnb business, right? And he was making money from that. And now he wanted to go to coach it and teach others people how to do it. But he didn't have like info product marketing experience. He had experience in real estate and, like doing Airbnb properties. So what did he do? He hired a guy to help him write his webinar. And I believe that guy, I don't know the exact number, but that guy had a profit percentage split of what that webinar did. And that webinar, I don't know the exact numbers, but like Brian Page, in his height anyway, he was doing like multiple millions per month. Because what he would do is he would have basically, he would go and do JV partnerships. So he did a JV partnership with Ty Lopez, Mike Dillard, all the big basically internet money gurus at the time. He went and just did basically a JV webinar with them. Now, the webinar that they performed was written by this other guy. And this other guy got a percentage of the profit each webinar did. Now, again, I don't know Brian Page's exact numbers, but I assume it's, if not probably close to 100 million plus, honestly. And again, I don't know, maybe it's a bit less than that, but he was doing some serious numbers. Now, that guy, I don't think anyone knows who he is. And he knew how to write webinars. Now, was that skill like the sexy new opportunity? No, because webinars had been around for a little while. He wasn't the only person or the first person to learn how to write webinars, but at least he had developed that skill over a period of time. He got connected with Brian Page, and then I'm sure that guy who wrote the webinar went on to make millions just from that one client, effectively. And people would have seen him and they would be like, oh, this guy got lucky or he got rich quick because he so happened to come across Brian Page and then they got a partnership together. So, but again, that guy had developed that skill over a prolonged period of time beforehand to, again, become the person deserving, or not deserving of the opportunity, but the person who had the skills to take advantage of the opportunity. So it's like there's 2 points to it. People need to understand that, yes, if you want to get rich quick and you want your business to kind of like blow up, you will need to be at the right place at the right time with the right vehicle, with the right opportunity, right? If you go and do, an Airbnb webinar now, it's not going to blow up like Brian Page's did, okay? If, back in 2016, when I was trying to sell affiliate info products with Facebook ads, if I do that now, even though I'm more skilled now than I was in 2016, I'm still not going to make any money, probably. I don't know. Maybe I could, but it's not going to blow up. I'm not going to make millions like people did back in 2016 with that exact same opportunity. So luck and timing makes a huge difference and is, if not one of the biggest influencers of success. But it's not the only reason. Because again, there's plenty of people that get presented with that great opportunity, but only a small percentage of people are able to take advantage of it. And it's those people usually that have had the practice, the skills, the experience, or at least developed the mindset that is able to take advantage of the opportunity over a prolonged period of time. So if you're watching this and there's maybe two people. Maybe you are literally just looking to get rich quick and you're new to the online business game and you're just like, I want to make $1 million next week. Then understand that unless you get really lucky and you just get presented with like a golden opportunity that doesn't require any skill, maybe, someone convinces you to put your life savings into like the right cryptocurrency and you make $1 million next week. That's great. You've done fucking well. I wish I was you. But most likely you're person number two, whereas like you've been trying to make money online for a long time and maybe you're capped at 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever it is. And you're looking around at all these different people online and fucking people are sending screenshots and bank account screenshots of like all the money that they're making. And you're just sitting there just like, why not me? I was the exact same. I still am to a certain extent. You know, there's still people with a lot more money than me that started later than me. But you got to understand that the months or the years that you are sticking to the plan and staying consistent is all leading you to an opportunity further down the line that you will be able to take advantage of. You don't know when it's coming. You don't know what it is. You can't necessarily force it, but it is going to come and it is going to work out if you just stay consistent. So for example, the person that I partnered with, I actually originally met her like 2 years ago when I was working for someone else through their network. So it's funny how all these things line up. I already had a relationship with that person, and at the time, she didn't have like a social media following. She wasn't like an online coach or anything like that. But like the 2 to 3 years, probably longer than that, like the 4 years passed, we didn't stay connected. But in that time, I spent 4 years building my agency and building the skill of being able to market and sell info products. And during that time, she had built an online audience who really wanted, you know, coaching from her. And guess what happens? We reconnect after 4 years. I proposed the partnership, and the rest is history. So you can't, what is the saying? You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. But again, if I hadn't stayed consistent at one business throughout those 4 years, then I probably wouldn't have been able to take advantage of that opportunity. So just know everything's going to work out if you stay consistent and you stay in the game. That's it. I'll see you on the next one.